If you can't tell by the title of the video, nor the little intro I poorly created, we're going to be playing Dark Souls 1 as a cursed samurai. And we started as a sorcerer for no reason, I just like magic for the asylum. The rules are as followed. I will be cursed immediately into the Great Hollow after leaving the asylum. The challenge starts as Firelink, as there's no way to get a katana without cheating in the asylum. I will only be using the Uchi katana, no power within or red tear stone ring, and all bosses will meet their fate. Let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Prior to this run, I did a fists-only run where I got to the Dragon Fist as well, so the Asylum Demon taking like maybe 9 shots is so much nicer than a 15-minute rundown. Just, if you've never punched the Asylum Demon to death, don't give it a shot, it's not fun. Immediately in Firelink, we decided to get some of the stats required for the Uchi Katana. It requires 14 strength and 14 dex. Or, if you're smart, it requires 9 strength and 14 dex, because you can two-hand it with 9 strength. I'm not very smart, as you can tell. We get down to the Great Hollow and play with the lizards, only to actually get Smoker's Lung. Don't look it up. In the Undead Burg, we go ahead and mug the little poor shopkeeper, because he has the Uchi Katana. And there's only 2 ways to get it, and he's the first one. Sorry, guy. It had to happen. While the Tourist Demon boss fight plays out, let's talk about the Uchi Katana. The Uchi Katana is one of 4 weapons inside of Dark Souls 1 that is in the class of the katanas. Alongside the Chaos Blade, which is acquired from the Soul of Quelaag and a katana at +10, the Iato, which is found at the top of Blighttown after the giant lizard thing was for the name of, and the Washi Pole is sold by Shiva the East. Uchi Katana can be sold by Shiva, but you also get it from the Undead Merchant. And all 4 of them have the bleed effect of 300 affinity. The Uchi Katana is the one I want to use because it's slash and thrust. Unfortunately, I don't really get a bleed proc as I'm not very lucky in this game, and I'm so bad at it that Taurus Demon has to give me a nice little freebie. Just what I have to love, right? Thank you, Dark Souls 1. Making our way to Andre, we upgrade our Uchi Katana all the way to +3, and we decide to go and try to farm from our Titanite shards. Oh, right! I'm cursed. Forgot. Half health, huh? Oops. That only took me like 25 minutes, but now we have it +5, and I think I'm ready for the gargoyles. It may not look like much, but I played this fight extremely safe, because I would get 2-shot by them, and since there's 2 of them, it's pretty much a 1-shot. But the gargoyles go down quite easily, and it's time to ring the Bell of Awakening. At least the first one of 2. Am I the only one who has to ever practice his kicks so I don't accidentally punch Lotric? It's just me? Okay, got it. Well, it works because I still got the Ring of Favor and Protection. So, who's the one who's laughing now, huh? Despite what people say, and despite what the wiki says, I was on Quelaag the entire time, and she never got a single bleed proc. I don't know why it still says it on the wiki, but she does not bleed, okay? She just doesn't. Chat, do I survive that? Chat, do I survive that? The answer is going to be given to you in 3, 2, 1. Somehow, someway, I survived with the smallest bit of health to ever exist. With, like, cursed health. So, the fact I survived that, and that was the victory attempt, is completely... It fits the theme of the run. It's quite cursed, I'm gonna be honest. Two things. Do you think you, the viewer, would notice the difference if someone didn't show the footage of them killing Ceaseless Discharge? And also, still, yet again, it fits the theme of the run because it's still 7 hits. I have my first playthrough where it was like 5. Why does it randomly choose 7? Why is it always 6 or 7? Another thing, does anyone else just kill the blow dart people? Because I can't stand them. I always kill them because I die like six. I die a lot of times to them when I'm trying to go up to Blighttown, to the point where I started killing them like every run. Every run. I hate them. By the way, once again, just like the Vamos Hammer run, I only remembered about the FAP ring after I grabbed the Wolf ring. These are just my dynamic duo of rings, guys. It's always gonna be like that, I think. Dark Souls knowledge is knowing that every drop can be fatal, but also knowing when to drop. Like right here, both dogs dead. That is like a perfect start to this fight. I may have gotten hit by them, but in the end, I survived. It's also only now in the editing process that I realized that my game volume was set to just not being recorded. So I don't know how long it is, I don't know when it comes back, but I do know it does come back at some point. We do my favorite skip inside of the depths, and we go and open the chest so we can grab the large shard. I grab it and die, so still a win in my book. And once again, showing that this is just straight up a cursed run, the Gaping Dragon keeps doing the jump stomp attack. Just watch. He doesn't ever bow his head. I don't understand why he does this. It's crazy work to me. See, 3 in a row. I just cursed, man. Yes, I forgot to kill the wizard, but it doesn't matter because I killed the Gaping Dragon still. And yet again, he still does the jump attack. He did that like every single move. I think he bowed his head like maybe thrice the entire fight. Alright? This was the longest Gaping Dragon fight I think I've ever witnessed in the history, besides like fists only. What is wrong with my luck, dude? This is the greed the Bible talks about, by the way. This is the greed. Dying to Pinwheel. I don't know how I died to Pinwheel. But of course, we can't end Pinwheel on a loss. Why would I do that? It's Pinwheel. All I gotta do is make sure I don't be stupid. By the way, I don't actually know what mask he dropped because I didn't pick it up. So, yeah. I guess you could argue in the comments for a while. Next up on the slashing block, we got the Stray Demon. Stray Demon's not too hard, at least. It's the Stray Demon for the most part, so you just gotta get lucky. Thankfully, it's like every third hit and he bleeds, so this is a pretty good weapon to use against him. Also, yes, I forgot to kill the hollows. That's fine. They're one-shots. Fun fact, if you didn't know, besides the bleeding of the Stray Demon, if you use Vow of Silence, you can actually prevent the Stray Demon and the Fire Sage Demon from doing those two moves. The explosion moves, mainly. The one that's a stomp down and the one that's a slam down. It's really cool, actually. You should look it up. Or even try it yourself. I've got the doll. I've got the doll. What's the doll used for again? And if you're wondering, I only had a +5 Uji Katana that entire time. I'm only now upgrading it to a +10. Yeah, life's been rough, guys. Alright, life's been rough. Also, here are my current stats I have. Not too bad, right? A little bit of health, dexterity, and the minimum strength required for the weapon. Honestly, not too bad. We finally have game volume back, and it's time to go and fight the Moonlight Butterfly. This shouldn't be too hard, right? I think that was one of the longest Moonlight Butterfly fights I've had in a while, and I really... It was just bullet hell the entire time. I don't know how that even happens. And then it survived with a sliver of health. I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna rant. I'm not gonna rant. Be honest. How many times do you die to Sif before you realize you're a little outclassed and you should probably farm for more levels? Yeah, me neither. It hurts. It hurts. It just hurts, dude. This is like the most torture in any Souls game. Besides playing Dark Souls 3. Now, this run is extremely cursed for a lot of reasons, and one of them is I'm doing a certain boss before Anor Londo, because I've never actually done it before. I'm going to show you the Chad way of getting through the ghost house. Those things in your pocket, I need that. Can I just have that real fast? Thank you. The instructions say just unlock the door and turn the wheel, and then just leave the food at the door. What door? I don't see a door here. They didn't tell me it was going to be this! They didn't tell me there was 4 of them! This is the first time in any of my runs I actually fought the 4 kings before going to Anor Londo. So, my thoughts about it is it didn't really make much of a difference as I thought it would. It made me second guess myself on whether or not I actually beat the 4 kings when I was looking for all the 4 Lord Souls again. Looking for them. When I was gathering them up again, I was like, did I beat the 4 kings? I went all the way down to the abyss just to be like, oh right, I did that early on. That's right. I did that. Also, just like the Vamos hammer, I'm stuck with 5 and 10 flasks because I'm cursed. So, it's a good thing I learned the strafe strats. I wouldn't have won without that. While I run through Sense Fortress, let's have a little chat. The Uchigatana so far has actually held up a lot better than I thought it would. I've never really used a katanas inside of Dark Souls 1 because I didn't really know how to get most of them. And every time I think, oh, I could kill the undead merchant, I don't want to for some reason because I feel like I might need him later on. But he doesn't sell anything really important apart from chain armor that you can get in the DLC later on anyways. So, this being my first introduction to really using the katanas in this game, after using them in Elden Ring quite a bit, since you could start with the Uchigatana, and you can also get other different ones such as the Rivers of Blood, or what's the other one that everyone hates? Is it not Mikkela's? Melania's? Isn't that one like one of the good ones as well? I don't know. All I know is that both of them are decent in Elden Ring, and I'm just not used to them in Dark Souls 1. So, it was a different experience. On top of most bosses being heavily resistant to bleed, or outright lying that they're stronger against bleed, it's not really hard to use. It's quite easy, honestly, and I normally don't really level dex apart from like the bare minimum for like the Black Knight weapons or these White-Hander or anything else really. So it was an experience. That's to say, if you haven't tried out any type of weapon class in Dark Souls 1, go give it a shot. Do a little run with it. You might actually find you end up liking them a lot more than you would. Anyways, let's get on to the rest of the video. Just like Roronoa Zoro from One Piece, I'm learning how to cut steel. However, I'm lucky in the fact that this run being cursed, the Iron Golem only goes into this little effect at the end of his health bar. This run can't get any better. It can only get worse from here, guys. You'll see, too. You'll all see. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the world record holder for, like, the speedrun, any percent, for Dark Souls. I think it's, I don't know if it's remastered. I think it's the regular one. Ever since I saw QQ do this, I've used it, like, in every single run, though. So, it's always nice. It's a little skip. I love it. It's my favorite skip in the game. I don't think I died nearly this much during my Soul Level 1 run, where I actually had, like, pretty much no health. Yet during this run, oh, I died a lot to Ornstein. I don't think I died to Smough a lot, but it was mainly Ornstein catching me off guard when I'm fighting Smough. Thankfully, Smough can bleed. So, because Smough can bleed, obviously, when I get to second phase, he goes down quite easily. Just, why does Guinevere always give us her left bra cup? I don't understand. Because I normally do the cleanup after the Lord Vessel, it was kind of odd only having like 1 or 2 bosses left to clean up before I can go into the end game originally, but it was also kind of refreshing because I felt like I wasn't feeling constrained like I usually do. Maybe I'll do this more often. Who knows? I don't think this is the type of sword fight that Gwendolyn thought I meant when I said let's have a sword fight. He pulled out a bow for some reason. That's like pulling out a gun in a knife fight, isn't it? Like, bro, we were supposed to duel with swords. A refresher on my stats currently, here they are. A little bit more health, some more dexterity, and still the regular strength you need. Back in the very large Ember Ruins, we grab the new Londo. We come back to the Undead Parish and give the new Londo to the Andre Smith Black. We don't have enough material to make it to a plus 15, but we do have enough to make it plus 13. Just 2 chunks shy. Look, I'm gonna be honest, I actually just have nothing for this. I don't know what I'm supposed to say to this. Someone else make it funny for me. I don't know, man. Anyways, we go to the Duke's Archive so we can kill this nice blue golem. This blue golem drops the pendant. You all know what this is going to. I don't know why I'm explaining it. I don't know why everyone explains it over and over again. I'm assuming by now the game's like almost 15 years old. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm doing to get to the DLC. If you don't know, the pendant is part of the only saving grace of this run, besides the katana being really fun. By the way, if you haven't used katanas, use them. Trust me, you'll like it. Because I'm already cursed, there's nothing to fear. I can't get cursed twice anymore. So we might have an issue with the run. I don't understand what was going on here. That worked, though. So, turns out katanas are a little weird when it comes to the cell. Key. Door. On fire. So you're telling me not only did I die to Pinwheel, I also died to the clams. Fitting to their own, I suppose. I'm gonna be honest, I've always ever rolled Seath's Crystal. I don't like making him attack it himself, because I get more denial of his health when I roll myself. But I always see people make him break it. I guess in their runs he does the side breath instead of the laser breath forward and backwards like this, because he always does that to me with his crystal. So it's like I get less damage off on him. With the final slashes into Seath's little crotch over here, it's time to go and gather the next Lord Souls. That's 4 down. Back to the ruins of Lost Eyes Lith we go. Time to fight the Fire Siege Demon first. Little detour, you know? The usual Mean King special. You ever wonder why the curse bar doesn't like actually show like the full bar? It shows like maybe 30% of it. That always bothers me, you know? I don't understand why they couldn't just code it to make it so it shows exactly half of your health. Anyways, the Demon Fire Sage, just like the regular demon inside of the asylum, dies quite easy. Honestly, bleed is extremely strong against it. And with just a couple of cuts, the Demon Fire Sage is dead. With a nice little finesse in the finishing move. On today's episode of Dark Souls 1 facts I actually didn't know until today. If you keep up the pressure, you can make the Demon Centipede bleed. And like a hot knife through butter, the Centipede Demon goes down. Honestly, I'm loving the katana more and more every boss I fight, I'm gonna be honest. Like I said in the Vamos run, I do really like this boss. Sometimes it's annoying, but it is genuinely my favorite boss in this game. Because it's a different take on bosses. Also, if you try to get that left hand stamp attack, you can normally get it done decently fast. Or you can be like me and fail at the Bed of Chaos. At the very last moment. Let's try that again with feeling, shall we? There we go. Hot knife through butter, like the Katana, yada yada, Bed of Chaos is dead. Let's go. 3 of 4 Lord Souls. All we have left is Nito. Oh, God help me. But of course, a detour into the Sanctuary Guardian so we can start the DLC. And of course, first one, Sanctuary Guardian. It's time to test the Uchigatana against the Sanctuary Guardian. Granted, if he just keeps doing that move, it shouldn't be too bad of a fight. I mean, he already decides to do it twice in a row. Hey, maybe he'll get a third one. Well, I spoke too soon. Anyways, starting off strong with a first try victory against the Sanctuary Guardian. Thank you, Guard. We love you. Alright, Artorias, let's get this over with. I don't have all day, alright? Now then, just stand still for me and... Oh. Okay, well, that could have gone better. Well, you guys know the saying, slow and steady wins the Artor race. He even had to dodge for that pun, huh? It's not that bad. You don't have to scream at me, Artorias. Jeez. Just say you don't like my puns. With Artorias being defeated and me unlocking the entirety of Ulasil, it's time to face this Mimic so I can get the Crest Key. Though, I keep missing some hits because of the body. Gotta love that. Anyways, regardless, Crest Key acquired. Decided to test my luck against the chained prisoner here, and I actually got the leather gauntlets. Right now, because I killed the undead merchant, this is the only way I can get the actual chain armor set. Not that I'm gonna grind for that, it'd be stupid to do so. Deep beneath Ulasil, Manus, Father of the Abyss, resides. And I, a sworn samurai, decide to fight this man to the death. Hey, remember that one part in the Vamos Hammer run where I just ran directly at him in the rain? Thankfully, I would never do that a second time, right? Right? Thankfully, that doesn't happen in this run, and I actually do a lot better, though, just like other bosses, Manus tends to jump back away from my attack, which is fine, because I turn from the Father of the Abyss to the Father of the 6 feet below. Manus is down. Only one more boss remaining. For the DLC, that is. Once again, a skill issue required. Calamite still does this attack, and I didn't kill Shiva in this playthrough, so kinda had to just deal with it. Unfortunately, I also was never in a good position to really hit Calamite, so the fight took like 20 minutes, which is extremely unlike me. Even then, I also ended up running out of Estus because, well, Calamite does his fun little things, and, well, that's all. Thankfully, I had humanity in my slot this time correctly. And with Calamite making a mistake, trying to do a move that should have killed me, the Black Dragon is no more. And yes, 2 runs in a row, I forgot to go and kill Nito, even though I unlocked the Tomb of the Giants like really early on. So, that was fun. The worst part about playing mouse and keyboard in Dark Souls 1 is menuing, because I swear I clicked use there, and I drop it. So I have to panic to pick it back up and make sure I don't die here if he does another one of his slam attacks. But that's fine. Again, getting toxic by Nito is just crazy. But you know what? That's fine. I have enough heals. Anyways, that is Nito down, and now it's on to Gwyn. I didn't forget the doll, but I forgot about Priscilla. I almost forgot to kill Priscilla before Gwyn. I can't believe I did that. Give me your tail. Give me your tail. She didn't give me your tail. Damn. That's like a rule and challenge that I try to get the tail. Well, Priscilla's dead. Now it's time for Gwyn. Let those fights be a lesson to you, not to try to finesse Gwyn, because for some reason I just couldn't get the actual damage off correctly, or I just couldn't get the parry timing correctly. So let it be a lesson to people who are not skilled, similar to me being not skilled. Don't try to be baller against Gwyn. It doesn't tend to work very well. But anyways, as Gwyn closes out the rest of this run, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you did, leave a like on the video. Also, comment down below, what is your favorite weapon in Dark Souls 1? Or even Dark Souls 2, 3, Elden Ring, or even what kind of playstyle you like. How do you play the game? What is your way of playing? Because my way of playing is just do whatever seems fun. I know not everyone's like that though. Anyways, have a wonderful time. Go burn down some villages in Minecraft. I hear it's really fun to do.